Mountains that decide empires. Mountains are not barriers. They are decisions already made. Before borders exist, before states emerge, before power claims territory, elevation has already imposed limits, not as walls, but as conditions. Mountains do not simply block movement. They regulate it. They slow it, compress it, redirect it, and determine where accumulation is possible and where it is not. This is ACHRONIC, a long-form documentary project about power, geography, and time. Not events, not heroes, not chronology, structures beyond time. Empires do not expand across mountains by will alone. They adapt to them, they work around them, or they fracture against them. Height is not an obstacle in itself. It is a regulator. It defines time, effort, coordination. It determines how quickly resources move, how reliably commands arrive, and how evenly authority can be maintained across space. Power prefers flatness, not because it is easier to conquer, but because it is easier to synchronize. On plains, armies move together, administrations extend evenly, information arrives within predictable intervals. Mountains interrupt that rhythm. They stretch time. They fragment authority. They introduce delay. And delay is where centralized control begins to weaken. This is why mountains rarely belong fully to empires. They are crossed, contested, claimed on maps, but never absorbed completely. Their internal logic resists uniform control. Valleys become semi-independent worlds. Passes become points of compression, where movement narrows and control concentrates briefly before dissolving again. In mountainous terrain, power does not spread across surfaces. It concentrates along corridors. Influence becomes linear rather than expansive. Supply chains elongate. Communication becomes intermittent. Every decision carries a cost, measured not only in distance but in time. Over long durations, these costs accumulate. In mountain systems, friction is not accidental, it is structural. Energy is lost with every ascent, every descent, every deviation. Transport becomes uneven. Supply becomes fragile. Redundancy is difficult to maintain, and failure is rarely isolated. A single interruption propagates across the system, not because the system is weak, but because it is stretched. Centralized power depends on predictability. It requires that distance, time, and effort remain proportional. Mountains break that proportionality. A short distance can take longer than a long one. A small movement can require disproportionate resources. Planning becomes estimation rather than calculation. Authority loses precision as a result. Mountains do not cause collapse directly. They produce asymmetry. They favor local continuity over centralized command. What persists in these regions is not imperial order, but adaptation. Power survives by negotiating with terrain rather than imposing itself upon it. This negotiation reshapes political form. Direct rule becomes indirect. Garrisons replace governance. Alliances replace administration. Authority shifts from continuous presence to managed exceptions. Empires do not disappear at mountain edges, but they change character there. This is why mountain regions generate persistent borders, cultural density, and political fragmentation. Not because populations resist empire more fiercely, but because terrain enforces limits on scale. Scale is not ideological, it is logistical. Beyond certain thresholds, coordination fails regardless of intent. Power responds to this failure by simplifying. It reduces ambition. It narrows scope. Expansion is replaced by maintenance. What was once designed to grow becomes a system designed to hold. Complexity is traded for endurance. Control becomes less visible, less ambitious, more conditional. This transition is rarely acknowledged as geographic. It is framed as political reform, as strategic retreat, as administrative adjustment. Yet the underlying cause remains physical. Terrain does not change its demands. It only reveals them once scale exceeds what coordination can sustain. Geographic memory operates without intention. It does not record events, victories, defeats. It preserves patterns of movement, resistance, delay. Mountain ranges accumulate this memory slowly. They encode where movement thins, where coordination fragments, where power must negotiate rather than command. These patterns do not disappear when political systems change. They remain available, ready to shape the next configuration of control. Over long durations, the role of mountains remains constant. Names change, borders shift, technologies improve. Yet elevation continues to impose time, and time continues to undermine centralized authority. What appears as political choice is often the visible surface of geographic constraint. This is why mountain ranges persist as structural edges within imperial systems. They are not the end of power. They are the point where power becomes conditional. Empires rise, they extend, they reorganize. Mountains remain, not as obstacles to be overcome, but as decisions already embedded in the land.